Well, hello, everyone.
Check in. Check in, family. How's everybody doing?
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Check in, family.
Tune in, guys.
Come on, family.
Tonight it's gonna be fun. We're gonna have a good time tonight.
Yes. So, thank you, family, for tuning in. This is Love and Unity. I'm your host, Roderick Smith, and right next to me, I have my lovely wife, Sterna Smith.
Yes. Hi, everyone.
And today we have a good one, guys. We have the beautiful, loving, caring family members. They are, I would like to say, they are my family now. Miss Gail and Mr. Luther Barber. Y'all make some noise for that.
Yes.
Hello, everyone.
Yes. So tonight's title for this episode is called Your Pain Prepares You for Your What, sweetie? She's stuck, y'all. She's stuck. What is it? Go ahead, say it. Your pain
for your purpose, baby.
Okay, there we go.
In life.
And I think we can put a testimony in that a lot of our pain can,
prepares you.
Yeah, it does.
For your purpose in life.
Yeah. So let's talk to our guests here, Miss Gail and Miss Luther. How y'all doing?
Great.
Y'all good?
Great.
Y'all had a beautiful day today?
Absolutely.
Nice.
The day away.
Yes. So let's go ahead and get it started. We got a long night tonight, so let's go ahead and get it started. So, where are you guys originally from?
You want to start first? Okay, I was originally born in Cordell, Georgia.
Okay.
But my mom raised me what we used to call the ring line. That's 441 in Delray off Atlantic. I came up as a migrant child.
Okay.
I worked in the fields, worked in the grading field. I picked oranges, I picked beans, grapefruits, tomatoes, you name it. Did. So I'm a farm girl.
I like that. That was that had to be pretty pretty tiring, y'all out there in that sun. And as being a kid, you was a kid, how old would you
when I started in the fields with my mom?
Yeah.
I don't even remember, but she said she started taking us to the fields when we were like 3 and 4 years old.
Wow.
So yeah, we were working in the fields since little kids.
Wow. Yeah. Okay, Mr. Luther, what about you?
Born and raised right here in Boynton Beach, Florida.
Okay.
Right there in Boynton Beach, Florida. My father and my mother, they met in high school. I was one of those. I was born 1973. My parents were real young when I was born. But born right here in Boynton Beach.
Boynton Beach, Florida. By the way, guys, that's one of the best cities in the world. I don't know I don't know where y'all from, but Boynton Beach is one of the best cities ever in Florida, and we can contest to that. I don't care what people say. Some people go and leave the city, and they get bougie.
Oh yeah.
But they still got that Boynton Beach in them. So
always.
Yes.
B-town.
B-town. Okay.
Yes.
So with that being said,
let me just tell everybody, like, tonight's episode, we are focusing on raising awareness to drugs and addictions, to anyone out there that might be going through it or have a loved one going through it right now. Mr. and Mrs. Barber is here tonight to tell us how they made it through with love, conviction, and the power of God. Because for nothing is impossible with God. Luke 1:37.
Okay.
Amen.
I wasn't
Amen.
expecting that, not from the Bible. You done hit
Straight
us
from the
straight
Bible.
scripture. I love that. All right.
At the
So
base.
Yeah.
yeah, so
set it up. It's all about the glory of God.
right.
Yes.
So let's talk about a little bit, growing up in those fields.
Oh, okay. I had one of the best moms. My mom was a single mom with 3 kids.
Mm.
My sister Net, the oldest, me being the middle, and my brother Ben, who's going to be with the Lord.
Okay.
Uh, it was great. Being raised on the ring line on the farm, Port 41, it was more like we were just a big old family. It's like a set. Okay, if I could just set it up,
Mhm.
what the migrant farm looked like.
Right.
When you thought about the slaves, the masters had the slaves all in one area and had a bunch of bunch of shacks,
Okay.
so to say. But it was more like apartments, and that's where all the poor people. I was raised up poor
Mhm.
in the migrant field, but never went without.
Right.
I might have didn't get what I wanted, but I had everything that I needed.
Need it.
Everything that I need. I had the best mom. Growing up on the farm was good. It was good. It was family oriented. You didn't sleep. You didn't lock your doors at night.
Mhm.
You can go to anybody's house,
Mm.
and I don't want to get ahead of myself because
Yeah,
I'm gonna
okay,
let my
yeah.
husband. But
Yeah.
that's what set it off to be taken advantage of, because you trust everybody.
Right.
Everybody was your mom. Everybody was your dad.
Right.
Everybody was your aunt, your uncle.
All
We were all
Family. I love
So
that.
your mom leaving you with somebody, it was nothing for her to mistrust.
Right. I love
because
that. That's
Everybody was family.
And you, Mr. Luther, growing up?
Yes, I didn't grow up on the range line, but my family came from the range line because most of those people, the majority of them, left the range line and came to the city,
Okay.
Boynton.
Right.
And my grandmother, my mother, my relatives, they came from the range line. So,
Okay.
but they had moved over here before her mom and had moved over here. So, but they're from the range line also. But my upbringing was very, very, very religious.
Okay. So you have
Yes.
parents that are in the church.
Oh, I was practically born in the church.
In the church. Okay.
Like literally born in the church. So, on both sides of my family, there's religious people.
Okay.
Both sides of my family, there's preachers.
I get
I was
it.
raised that way.
Okay. All right.
So I know what brings us here is in the title of this episode is Your Pain Prepares You for Your Purpose. So I'm gonna start with Luther. If you can tell me, how did your pain started?
Well, my introduction to the world of drugs and alcohol was out of curiosity. It wasn't like, I had any great traumatic experience. I mean, it was curiosity for me and hanging around the wrong people.
I got you.
I guess thinking in hindsight, they say hindsight is 20/20. I guess my thing was being from a religious background. When I actually got out, I wanted to kind of like
Be free.
like an animal let free.
Wow.
And that's not really the way you're supposed to do that. You're supposed to take all that stuff that you use and use it when you go out on your own. But I kind of like threw caution to the wind and threw it all away. I just jumped
right into it.
out there into that world out
Right.
there
That
I was trying to be kept from.
Right, because it was like not that that you was sheltered. It was more like, oh man, I'm by myself. I ain't got to go to church every day. I'm free. I'm finna be an animal. I'm finna get out.
Yeah.
I'm finna do whatever I want to do because I ain't finna be going to church every single day. I'm free.
And if anybody knows the story of the prodigal son, that was me.
Mm.
Do you remember how old you were when you got influenced by other friends?
I had been on my own since I was 18. I graduated here and I went to college, Daytona, Bethune-Cookman College.
Bethune.
Yeah.
Bethune. Shout out to Bethune. Let's go.
But I was I had been on my own since I was 18. So, and I think I probably got introduced around the age of like maybe 21, 22 in
Mhm.
that age bracket. And then, like I said, it wasn't anything that I it was just the people that I was around. I was around some bad people,
Mhm.
So I mean, and that was my own choosing. I didn't have to be around those
Right.
people.
You
Those
had
are just the people that I chose to
Mm.
that attracted me, that I
Yeah.
was attracted to.
right. So you had a father, you had a mother.
Yes,
It's just
yes.
that you wanted to do what you wanted
Mhm.
to do.
Mhm.
Wow.
I was kind of like rebelling from the upbringing that I had.
right. I got
Not
you.
kind of. That's exactly what I did.
I got you.
Rebelling.
Wow.
That's why it's very important now these days for us as parents. We can tell our children as much as we can, but we have to keep doing it and then try to tell them stay away from the bad crowd, because it is there are some people out there that are just gonna influence you to do the opposite of what you've been teaching your children. So
Yeah.
it's very, very important.
So we can do all the talking and all the teaching that we want. You know what I'm saying? Some things I can attest to that because my dad tried to do the best that he can with what he had, you know what I'm saying, and teaching me. But I'm still my individual self, and I'm gonna do what I want to do when I became free.
That's right.
And us as young men, when we get out our parents' house, we like, it's that time, baby. We finna act a
Yeah.
fool. We
Yeah.
finna
Yeah.
test the waters because we've been held down. Not saying that we've been held down, but we just been like watching, monitor, all this time. And then when we get free, I mean, I can say
Yeah.
when we get free, we like animals.
Let go for the women too.
Right.
We like that too. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So
So for you, Miss
Miss Gail.
Gail, so how did it start? That
Well,
ma-
mine did start from pain.
yeah.
Mine did start from a lot of pain. And all through this, I'll keep saying it. It takes nothing from my mother. My mother trusts me. She trusted people to watch her kids. When we couldn't go in the fields, when we had to go to school, and she would still be in the fields, we would have to go and be with other people until she got home. It was like a village. You know how they say it take a village to raise a child? Well, back on the farm, that's what they did. It was a village. We were all one family. I could spank your child and tell you about it, and you would spank them again.
Mm.
They don't do that anymore. So in the process of my mama trusting us, I was molested from the age of 7 to 9,
Mm.
and I was and I had other people to attempt to rape me. Uh, and all through this here, you have to understand that back then it wasn't like it is now. This is back in 70 because I was born in 65. So this was 72 to 74. Like now, there's no problem with you turning on the TV and you see it on Oprah Winfrey, you see it on Phil. They talk about child molestation, and it's rampant. Kids are aware now that nobody's supposed to touch you
Right.
in a certain way.
Yeah.
But back then we didn't have that. So when these things were done to me, like the inner me knew that this wasn't right.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't see stuff on TV with people kissing and touching and all that stuff, and there was no books available. I mean, so I knew it was wrong, but I didn't know it was wrong.
Because it was
Because-
family.
It was
Yeah. So yeah. So
because it was close to home. You feel like those
Yeah.
people, you could
You could
trust them.
trust
They wouldn't do
people.
that to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and I had a lot of pain. I can go on and on. And I was a rough little. I go back and look at my picture. I was an ugly little girl. I was ugly, and I was ugly. I was an ugly little duckling, and grown people told you that.
Wow.
I had my Uncle Buck used to say, "You so ugly, you got to be a beautiful woman when you grow up," and I just learned to laugh at it.
Wow.
But that stuff hurt. You have to watch what you say to children because it hurts. We laugh at it to keep from doing it, but it was a lot of that. So and after that, my mom was aware of it and she didn't approve of it, and she did do something about it.
There you go.
She didn't call me a liar. She believed me,
And
and she did something about it.
that's
Mhm.
good.
And and she told me that this is not something that somebody's supposed to do to you. They're not
Mhm.
supposed to touch your goodies. They're not supposed to put their goodies nowhere on you,
Mm-hmm.
and you did the right. I went and told my auntie Pat, and my auntie Pat went and told my mom.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so,
Auntie Pat,
yeah, that's my mom's sister. I love her so much.
and I can say that you felt extremely comfortable to approach her and say something. So
Yeah,
shout out to Auntie Pat.
yeah, I love you, auntie.
Yes.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
let's move it up a little bit, and now let's say, well, in our teens, what high school did you guys go to? Shout out to go ahead. Go ahead and shout it.
Okay. Lake Worth High School.
Lake Worth High is in the
Yes.
house.
But then the first year they built Santa Lucia's, we
And-
had to leave Lake Worth and go to Santa Lucia's in my 12th grade.
Okay, Miss Luther,
Lake Worth High.
Lake Worth
Lake
High.
Worth High,
We got a
yes.
lot of alumni. If y'all tuned in, shout out to Lake Worth High, Santa Lucia's.
Yes.
All right, so tell me a little bit about high school. How was it in that era?
I gotta go. Okay, I'll go first. I go forever. Okay, so like I said, we came up on the farm. So I went to Carver Middle School.
Mhm.
Well, actually, I went to Hagen Road Elementary School. Then I went to Carver. My mom moved from the migrant farm to Boynton when I was in the 8th grade.
Mhm.
Okay, I failed the 8th grade at Carver Middle School because at the age of 12, 13, I started smoking marijuana
Mm.
and then cigarettes. So I started early. And when people say, oh, it's okay to smoke marijuana, no, it's not.
Right.
Marijuana is the gateway to drugs. It was my gateway. It was my gateway to some very dark days. So high school was more like my partying days at Lake Worth High School.
Mhm.
If anybody watching out there that went to Lake Worth High School with me, you can attest to this. We had a bathroom that only if you smoked cigarettes and marijuana that you could come in that bathroom.
Wow.
Woo.
And in this bathroom,
In the school though,
in
Miss
the
Gail.
school, I did it in school.
No, but Miss Gail, you said it was a section where y'all.
Oh, we had it on lock.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
had
Like,
it on lock.
where was the teachers? Where was all the
Where's the
teachers?
principal?
Where was the principal, the assistant principal? What was going on back in them days?
They probably was afraid to come in there.
Oh, because y'all ran the school.
We
They-
had
like-
it on lock.
Hey,
We really did.
they said basically like if they open the door, they be like, you know what, let me mind my business, and y'all would be like, hey, y'all get out.
Yeah, and they knew not to tell.
Mm.
The kids that did come in there or whatever, they didn't tell, because I never remember a time us getting busted out in that bathroom. And I stayed in that bathroom probably about 2 years during school. Where we would be in there, we would bring quarts of beer.
What?
Wow.
Slit Malt Liquor Bull. We would bring beer to the school. We would bring cigarettes and marijuana. And then I think in my 11th grade, 10th grade, I don't know if anybody's familiar with Black Beauties, little Black Beauty pills. Any of y'all back there, y'all know what I'm talking about. Black Beauties was during the time with Sensimilia, what they call it, Sense Buds, was back then, all that good stuff. And we would break them open and we would snort them.
Sense Buds and blackberries.
Black Beauties.
Black Beauties.
Black Beauties was a black pill that you would bust open and it had a white powder on the inside of it.
Mm.
And we would do lines. Wow. In school. That's the bathroom. We stayed in there.
Bathroom.
I don't know how I passed from the 10th to the 11th to the 11th to I think they just want to be out their class.
Right.
Because I never went to class. This is where I stayed, in this bathroom.
Wow.
So yeah.
Wow.
Want to jump in on your high school? Because I can go on and on.
Well, I'm gonna start back in elementary and take you
Okay.
to high school because it's important. What I'm gonna say. When I was in elementary school, the administration at the school, I went to Boynton Beach High, Boynton Elementary
Mhm.
in Boynton. And,
Is Miss Luther, is that Poinciana today?
no.
Oh,
No,
okay,
that's a
okay.
museum right now.
Well,
Oh.
we
Across from the library.
Wow.
They turned it
Okay,
into a
okay.
museum. That's the elementary school I went to.
Wow.
Yeah. So when I was in 2nd grade, my teacher called my mother in for a conference, and she said, "I think you need to want to have your child because he's not catching on, he's not paying attention in class. I think we need to put him in back then it was the SLD program.
Okay.
It's ESC now, but it was SLD back then.
Learning disability.
Yeah, it was the SLD program back then. And my mother wasn't going, she wasn't having it. She was like, nah, I'm not going to do that. She's like, well, you need to test him, mother, because she wasn't having it. They were like, oh, I think this is the best thing for him. He's not paying attention. He's not catching on, blah, blah, blah. So my mother was like, no, I'm not going to do that. Let's test him and see. And when I tested in the gifted.
Wow.
So you could see where my life could have went, which direction it would have went if my mother hadn't stepped in.
Right.
Because if I would have tested into SLD now, that leads a whole different path.
Right.
And that's statistically speaking. We're not even talking, we're not talking stereotypes. We know what happens when they put our kids in ESC program.
Yes. It's
There's
a behavior.
a direction.
It's
that
a
they end up.
behavior issue.
There's a path that they end up.
Yeah.
That's
Right.
not good.
Right.
So anyway, I tested the second grade. I tested in the gifted. So I was in gifted all the way from second grade all through high school.
High school.
Yeah.
Wow.
So in high school, I was a good student.
Wow.
See, the thing about it, I think at that time, I kind of knew who I was and who I wasn't. I was not a thug. I was not none of that stuff. I was a student.
Right.
I was a smart student. So I was a good student.
Wow.
You know. So
Wow.
Yeah.
I love that. I love
Yeah.
that.
So
I can say that from elementary to high school, we have like as men, we have this thing where we're trying to be cool.
yeah.
And I love the fact that you say you know who you was. You said you was a student.
Yeah.
You didn't have any issues of who you were. You know who you were.
And unfortunately, in our culture, we have this thing where we think it's cool if you're not smart.
Right.
And if you're smart, you're not cool.
Not cool.
Yeah.
Woo.
That's
Yeah.
backwards.
That's
We need
backwards.
to change that.
Woo.
Yeah.
That's powerful.
Being ignorant is cool.
So I have a question for both of you guys. What effect did he have on you guys when you started doing the drugs and the alcohol? What effect did it have on you as far as holding down a job, keeping a home, because I know it's hard. Yeah.
Well, it's just like with anything. It starts out fine. But eventually, they call it the beast. The beast takes over. You know, you can get along. You can maintain a job. You can maintain keeping it from people. People don't really know you're into it. But eventually, it will take over.
You'll catch up.
Eventually, the beast will take over.
All right. So
Yeah.
let's get into it, y'all. Miss Gail. So
Okay.
tell me a little bit about how you guys met.
Oh, you want to go right there?
Yeah. Did I miss something? Did I skip over a little bit?
You skipped over a little bit, just a little bit, but it's fine. It's
you
fine.
sure?
Let's go there. Let's go there. 'Cause,
okay.
It takes a minute. Okay, I was in Sanford, Florida in 2007 to 2008, and I decided to leave the guy I was with. So my mom sent me a ticket. I got on the Greyhound and I came back to Boynton.
Okay.
And my friend Pat Brown, shout out
to
Pat
Miss
Brown.
Pat. What's up, Miss Pat?
My best friend forever. I call her my BFF even to this day. And we were in addiction together as well.
Okay.
So we were setting up the EZ Market on Seacrest and Martin Luther King, right in the middle of there. EZ Market was the hangout spot for us, getting high and us selling dope. That's where we hung out at. And remember, I was standing out there one day, and Luther, which I didn't know at the time, happened to walk into the store. She was like, "That's the boy. That's the boy. That's the guy I've been telling. That's the guy. I want you to meet him." I'm like, red?
You don't do no red?
I don't do red guys. Black of the berry, sweet of the juice.
I love
like
it.
Black men. So I was like, I don't want want to talk to him. So when he came out, he had these scratch off tickets, and he had a bunch of them too.
Mhm.
And I was like, hey, let me get one of them tickets. So Pat was like, this gal I was telling you about.
Mhm.
And Pat, you know I'm right about this. This was the first time you had ever told me about this man
Right.
that day. And he said that was the first time that she had told him about me that day.
Right.
But I don't know what did it. God stepped in and intervened through Pat. But I met Luther. Luther gave me a $5 scratch off. Was it one? Oh, a couple of them. Gave me
Couple
one.
of.
Gave me one of his scratch offs.
I love that, Miss
And,
Gail.
huh?
Let me ask you something. So Luther, so you see her, you at the store, you see her, you see what's going on. Take me through that. I want to know through your eyes. You know, you got these scratch off. Let me hear from your side when you see her.
When we ran into each other that day, Pat Brown had already told me about, oh, I got this friend.
Oh, she did?
She
Yeah.
had it lined up. She
Yeah.
had it lined up.
She told me,
Okay.
I got this friend. I want you to meet. But see, the thing about it was all divine, and it was like a divine appointment. Because when I came here from Daytona, when I moved back here, I left Daytona and I said I was leaving everything there behind, all the bad stuff, and I wanted to come here and start over.
Mm.
And I wanted to come here and I wanted to find someone that I could marry.
Yes.
You know, I was tired of
The game.
the game and
Yeah.
stuff. So I came here, and that was one of my many reasons for coming back to Boynton. And when we met, it was like I said, it was a divine appointment because we hit it off right away, instantly.
You knew.
We hit it off.
I love that.
We did like we always say, we talked a lot. You know,
It-
it wasn't a lot of other stuff. You know, a lot of people's relationships is based on a whole bunch of other stuff.
Exactly.
Mhm.
But we talked.
Y'all can have a
We actually
conversation.
Got to know
Yes.
each other.
You know,
Yes.
I
Like-
think that's different
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah.
They like little rabbits right
Yes.
now. They
Yes.
think they don't have conversation no more. They
No.
All about her.
yeah.
And that's the only thing they got in common too. But
That's it. I love
That's
that.
it.
but we talked a lot.
A
We
lot.
talked a lot. We talked about all kinds of stuff, you know, and we hit it off right away. You know, we our meeting place was the beach. We used to like to go on the beach at night.
Mm-hmm.
And one night we were sitting there on the beach and we were looking up at the sky, and there was this weird, like, star constellation. It was really, really strange. It was something I'd never seen before and never seen it again. And I said, and we said, that's a sign.
Said it was a sign.
That's a sign.
Yeah, this was the
Yeah.
Boynton
That
Beach.
this is
That
it.
this was it.
Yes. This is it.
Wow.
Yep.
I love that.
This is it.
That's beautiful.
Yep.
So how long you guys been together now?
Okay, 13 years married. Luther and I had our first date. We had our first date December 31st, 2007.
2000,
2007.
2007.
And we never spent a day apart. We were together
Every day.
every day.
I love
Now,
that.
I was in addiction. I was smoking my crack when I met Luther.
I love that.
And one night we were at the beach. You know how I fell in love with his mind.
Mm.
I fell in love with his brain. I fell in love with the way he opened the car door for me.
Mm.
The way he told me how pretty I was every day when he saw me. You want something to eat?
Mm.
What do you want to do today?
Yeah.
He was just the perfect gentleman. I had never dated the perfect gentleman.
Gentlemen. Now, I'm gonna back it up a little bit.
Okay.
Now, see, when you met him, he was different from your previous relationship.
Previous. Yeah.
So let's go into, a little bit, of your past relationship.
My past relationships.
Right before meeting Mr. Luther.
Every relationship I had before Luther was violent. It was what's the word? It was
Toxic.
very,
Mhm.
very, very, very toxic.
Mhm.
Being called B's and the BITCHs, the whores, you ain't no good, and putting their hands on me.
Mm.
I had broken jaws. I done had black eyes. I've been thrown out of moving cars. I've been pistol whipped. You name it, I've
Mhm.
been there.
Mm.
So my name wasn't Gail. My name was Bitch or SLUT or whatever they felt like calling me.
Right.
So meeting somebody like Luther was a breath of fresh air.
Yeah.
It was like I had been every little girl, when we're little girls, and you can
Mhm.
attest to this, sis,
Mhm.
when we're watching TV, what do we want?
We want to be exactly like what we see on television.
That perfect
They
man
look, yeah.
opening the door for us, a
Mhm.
Barbara and Ken kind of
Mhm.
relationship, right?
Yep.
So that's what I finally got. I saw that in Luther right away.
I love that.
And he talked the way he talked. Now let me back it up a little bit.
Mhm.
In my past, Luther would have never been anything I dated.
Mm.
I was all into the thugs.
Right.
You know, Luther's what I would call a nerd.
I got you.
You know that,
And not even close to a nerd.
not
But I
even-
know what you're
you
saying.
know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I don't want that princey type.
Right.
You know, and we used to say a little joke. We need a brother to grab us by the head sometime and say, "Listen here, you know, I run
Yeah.
this."
Right.
But listen, that's such a
That's
terrible
abusive.
myth
Yeah.
that we come accustomed to, because as growing up, we seen it. Back in my days, we seen men beating women. We seen men doing things, and when we seen that the man can leave home and come back when he got good and ready. So we thought that was the way of
Normal.
life,
Yeah.
Right.
you know?
Yeah. So I want to go into that a little bit, Miss Gail, if you don't
Okay.
mind. You had a son. You have a son.
I have one child. Yep,
You
my
have.
son.
Tell the folks your shout out.
Shout out to my son, Alfonso Robinson Jr., aka Fonz Crab Gas. My baby, my one and only baby.
Yes. So
Yeah.
and he was you would say what was like he was born in 85, right?
Yes.
So
Yes.
you had a prior relationship,
Yes, with my first love.
your first love.
My first love was Fonz's dad.
Mhm.
I met Fonz when I was about 13 or 14 years old. And Fonz was what I thought was my Romeo.
Right.
You know, he spoiled me
Mhm.
so much. I was going to Macy's mall. I was going in the mall shopping at Macy's. Number one, my mom shopped at Kmart. We went to Kmart, we went to Egon and Navy. What was the other stores we used to shop at back then? But we hardly ever went to the mall. So this guy would take me to the mall, my baby's father, and I can get whatever I wanted. Kept a pocket full of money, drove BMWs, Porsches. I had the best, or what I thought was the best life, you know? But it did bring a very beautiful son. I had my son when I was 20 years old, but that was a toxic relationship. And if we can back it up just a little bit,
Yeah,
that's where, see, for a long time, I was in the closet.
Mm.
I had graduated from the marijuana. I had graduated to left the black beauties. I had went to snorting powder,
That's when it started.
snorting
Being
powder,
in the
being
relationship.
around all that stuff and going through it, being lonely. I
Mhm.
lived a lonely life. People in Boynton, when I came back home, and I'm sorry, we moved to Atlanta. I
Mhm.
lived in Atlanta for 9.5 years.
Oh, okay.
And when I would come from Atlanta and visit my mom and everybody looked at me like I was this what's the name I can say, like almost like a
Star.
star
Yeah.
almost.
Ooh.
Because I would have on nothing but name brand. I drove a BMW and people looked at me and thought I had excuse me, the best life. They don't know I was living in pure hell.
Right. So they see the money side of it. They see you got everything that you want, but deep down inside,
I was lonely, I was miserable, and I was being abused.
Mm.
And so when I came here, I would let loose. You know, I wasn't around him, so I would get me some. And most of the time I would rent me a hotel room,
Mhm.
and my son would be with my mom or my brother, or my sister, and I would take a couple people back to the room, and I would get listed.
Yeah.
See, all the drugs did for me was took me to another element. It took me away from the abuse. It took me away from the loneliness. It took me from all of that.
Mhm.
So that's what people do when they, like, my husband has a different reason for getting high than me. But statistically, you will look and see that most people that get addicted to drugs went through some sort of trauma in their life.
Yeah.
And we pack that pain with drugs and alcohol.
Yeah.
And so when the powder stopped working, you try to find something,
Something else.
you know?
Yeah.
The powders make your nose start running. So now you're doing this around people all day. So people looking at you. So now you find, and I started smoking crack at a very early age.
What age were
Nobody
you?
knew.
What age were you when you started?
When I started smoking crack, my son was about 5 or 6 years old. So I had my son when I was 19. So I started smoking crack about 23, 24 years old. But nobody knew. Nobody
Wow.
knew. Nobody knew.
So, Mr. Luther, when you guys met,
Mhm.
Gail was already smoking her thing, doing her thing. Where were you then?
I had, like I said, when I left Daytona,
Mhm.
I tried to leave
Everything
bring it back
behind.
there.
So you was clean
I was clean momentarily
momentarily.
because it was still there. I just ran from it. Running, like they teach you that changing your geography
Mm-hmm.
doesn't fix your problem,
Nope.
Oh.
because no matter where you go, if it's still in you, it's there. It's gonna come out.
It's gonna come out, and then
That's what I did. I just changed my geography. I didn't do anything to try to fix the problem. And running was my way of fixing the problem. I left Daytona. I left the drugs behind. I left Daytona. I left all of that there.
mm-hmm.
Oh,
And then when you met your girl, that is the right girl for you, and then she's in the middle of it,
Mhm.
you can't leave her. So now you guys get intertwined
mhm.
into it together.
Yeah.
Wow.
No,
Yeah.
no, not the drugs. You mean our relationships gets intertwined? Because not, you had to remember, I didn't know. Remember?
You didn't know he had anything to do with it.
Didn't know he
So
had a
were you like
past.
hiding it from him?
No.
So he knew.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
He knew.
Yeah.
It's like having a child. It's a package deal.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Ms. Gail, I am sorry to backtrack just a little bit more.
Okay.
I just wanted to go in depth a little bit about, your prior relationship. Just a little bit more.
Okay.
You was in a relationship and you had everything you wanted.
Mhm.
You had the money. You
Yeah.
had you had the
Cars.
cars. You had everything that you
A condo paid for.
paid for.
Mhm.
He made you feel like
A movie star.
a movie
almost.
star, right?
Yeah.
But still, deep down inside,
Pain.
pain,
Mhm.
being abused, and
Yeah.
that's where it kind of
Oh, it
pushed.
escalated.
It escalated
went
from there.
From 3 to 12.
Right.
Really quick.
That's where you can say it kind of like triggered a lot.
Yes, it did. It did, because I even tried to commit suicide. I was that depressed because I would leave Atlanta and come home. I tell my mom I can't go back. I have black eyes and all kind of other stuff going on. And she said, "You don't have to go back. You can stay here." But then he would follow me and come down here and almost like kidnap me, make me go back.
Mm.
Because I knew he had me so messed up that I actually thought I couldn't. He would tell me, "What you gonna do? You ain't even graduate. What you gonna do? What you gonna do for money?
Manipulation.
How you gonna take care of my son?
Yeah.
I got all this for you. You don't have to do nothing. You don't have to worry about nothing." But this man told me when to eat, when to sleep, and I couldn't, and I smoked cigarettes, and he didn't allow me to smoke cigarettes. So I told my husband, I used to put a shower cap on, a big robe, wrap myself up, run outside when he's not home and smoke a cigarette real quick, go back in, wash my hair, take a shower. And I did this every time I smoked a cigarette. Because if he came and smelled nicotine on me, he would drag me.
Mm.
So it was like, he was just like my father, For 17 years, I went through that. 17 years. I went through that.
So how did you get out of it?
I cut my way out.
It was like, I'm gone. I'm out of here.
I started fighting back.
That's it.
I started fighting back, and like my husband was saying earlier, you can You can be in the closet, but baby, once that beast get on your back, you gonna come up out that closet.
Yes.
Because
Mhm.
now I'm smoking crack. I started smoking crack and cigarettes. I started rolling it up in the 1.5. Y'all remember the 1.5?
Break it down to us. I never heard of the 1.5.
1.5 is actually
Rolling
what
papers.
they used to smoke marijuana in
Rolling
before they
papers.
went to the cigar paper.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
It used to be the 1.5. They know out there.
I don't.
The 1.5. And I would take cigarettes
This
and
is
put
strong
in the
woman.
1.5, and I would crush the rock cocaine and I would lace it.
Mm.
And that's how I smoked it.
Mm.
Until one day, my brother, oh, God bless his soul, the best brother in the world, Benjamin Bailey, may his soul rest in peace. He died in 2006. But my brother kind of told me, said, that scent is too loud.
Mhm.
Everybody gonna know you smoking. I got this better way. So my brother got this, I guess about a 6-ounce glass,
Mhm.
and put foil over it. And took a rubber band and put around the foil so no air can get in it.
Wow.
And I ain't this. I'm not telling y'all this to go try to
Right,
smoke
right,
no
right,
crack
right.
now. I'm just telling y'all how it started.
Right.
So nobody gonna do this, please don't. So we punch holes in. You smoke cigarette. You set the ashes and you set the rock on top of the ashes and you smoke from the other. And that first hit that I had with my brother took me to a level. Man, it took me like through space or somewhere. It was the best high I had ever had.
It took you away from all the pain.
Everything. It took everything away. And I was like, whoa, this is it. This is my escape. So when people do that, see, I was packing the pain, like I told you earlier,
Mhm.
with all this stuff.
Yeah.
With all
Packaging.
this stuff, just packing it.
Yep.
Just packing it. And
Wow.
that's what I did. But then as soon as the high is gone, all that stuff come back.
Back to reality.
Back to reality.
Yeah.
And then
Wow.
whatever you lost or whatever you did while you were getting high, now that's on top of your problems that were already there too. Because when you are doing those drugs, there's a lot of things you do to
Mhm.
get those drugs.
Oh,
Right.
yeah.
So let's get straight into it.
Oh.
So Miss Pat introduced y'all.
Miss Pat Brown, Patricia Brown,
Yes.
my bestie.
Mr. Luther, you know, when you met him, he had something that he was going through, and you was doing, you know, whatever you was doing at the
Mhm.
time, and he was hiding it from you.
Yeah, he
You
didn't
know,
tell me that.
He didn't
used
tell
to
you
do
at
that.
all, huh, Miss
No.
Gail?
He
So
didn't.
tell us, you know, a little bit the day that you found out he had his own issues.
Ooh. Mm. Okay, so Luther and I, like I said, we met. We had our first date December 31st
Mhm.
of 07, and we were married March 19th, 08. So
1 year.
not even. No,
Mhm.
we
Oh,
were
yeah,
married
Less.
not even.
3
Yes.
months.
3 months, y'all went straight
Yeah.
into it.
Like 3.5 months we were married.
Yes.
And my family didn't approve of it because they were like, you don't know, especially my son and my niece at the time, didn't approve of us getting married. We got married in his grandmother's house on 10th
Mhm.
with only my Auntie Lynn. Who was it? Auntie Lynn and
My dad.
your dad. But no, it was somebody else besides my Auntie Lynn. Was it Auntie Bruno? Was it Shandera? It was one more person from my family that came there.
Might have been
Might have been Drake, one of them.
one of them.
I know my Auntie Lynn and my auntie and my grandma Zilla signed our marriage license.
Mhm.
But Luther and I, and we didn't even tell you guys this while we were meeting this week.
Mhm.
On our wedding night, tell them what we did on our wedding night.
Uh-oh.
Baby.
Uh-oh.
Tell them what
Fall.
we did.
Y'all what?
About
Fought.
Y'all got into it?
We
Uh-oh.
didn't- we didn't
Fighting
drink.
was a very common thing back in those days.
one day.
Not like an argument. You talking about
No.
head?
That one.
No,
Physical fight.
Oh, physical.
Physical.
Okay.
We didn't go have
what was the
honeymoon.
what was
If
what
you
was
don't-
the fight about?
if you don't
guys
mind us asking.
I don't even remember.
I
Look,
remember.
It was
Talk to us, Miss Gail.
It was, he might have been, I don't know what was aching him, but somebody bought us a big thing of E&J.
Oh.
We had a big bottle of E&J. You remember the liquor?
Uh-huh.
And we drank it all. And when my husband on alcohol, he used to get to a thug. Like he want to be a thug. now.
That
The
Bethune
alcohol.
Cookman came out.
Tell him what happened.
I don't remember what happened. I don't remember
We
why
went
we
home
fought.
and we fought, and you punched all kind of holes in
But I don't know. I don't remember why
you
though.
punched
Yeah.
the refrigerator.
I
We
don't
were
remember.
just-
Not the
Refrigerator.
refrigerator. Hey, your hands was
punched-
hurting.
He used to, in our house, there were holes everywhere.
Mhm.
Because the one thing about my husband is that when I met him, he had a good job, he had a car, he was living with his grandmother.
Mm.
The Bible tells you that when a man and a woman marry, they cleave and they leave their mother's house. That's what my husband did.
Mhm.
He took me, and it was we shared an apartment with my brother-in-law,
Mhm.
Laramie T. Hey T. We shared an apartment with him, and we went home that night and fought. And I think it was because he wanted me to come to bed after drinking, and it's time for me to smoke. So I was trying to smoke my dope, and he wouldn't let me smoke my dope in peace. So that's where it escalated from. Now you remember?
Mhm.
Now you remember? You were like, we just got married, get in the bed. And I was like, no, I don't want to smoke. And that's what.
So with him having his, drinking,
Mhm.
and then, with your addiction, it came to a head at one point.
Oh,
It came to a head to where things start to go extremely left for
mhm,
y'all.
mhm.
Let's recount the moment where you guys were in the car driving somewhere
Mhm.
and you guys get pulled over.
Oh,
No, baby, tell him.
okay.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Can he tell you about the first time he started smoking with me? And then we'll get to the car.
Yeah, you.
Yes.
You tell him, and then I tell him.
Yes.
Tell him that,
Okay,
and I'll tell him
so-
about the.
So we're married about 6 weeks now, and my husband know I'm smoking dope.
Right.
I tried to quit, but right across the street, the devil put a drug dealer right across the street from right across. So I'm getting high, and Luther being the man he is, he gonna give me money to get high. He said, all I ask you to do is stay home. You want to get high, stay home.
He loved you that much to where
He allowed me to.
he
still get high.
allowed you,
Mhm.
and he was like, I don't care.
Just stay home.
Just stay home.
But when you're on crack, and when you don't smoke the last, and you don't spent the last dollar out of your husband's pocket, you don't went through his whole paycheck in one day. One day, I don't went through his whole paycheck. So now I got to get out,
Mm,
and I sneak out the house, and I go hang with other people that are smoking,
mm.
and then I come back home when I get ready. So I think my husband got sick of that. I'm gonna let him answer that.
Mhm.
But one morning, I remember I had been on the bench getting high all night, and I was laying in the bed. And my husband, I felt him down at the foot of the bed. He sat and he reached over and hit my leg. And I looked up, and he said, "Here, babe."
Mm.
And it broke my heart to see him smoking crack. And I'm looking at him, I'm saying, oh my God. The good girl inside was crushed. But the crackhead said, pass it. But it broke my heart because right then I felt like I was the cause of my husband smoking.
Yeah. That's rough.
Yeah, that's deep.
And Miss Luther, let's go into it a little bit where you could say that with you loving Miss Gail, you loved her to death. So you was like, whatever it is to make her happy, I'm gonna do it too. Like what was your number one saying? Like, you know what? Let me try this.
Well, it would be
Honey.
something different if it was if it did be different if it was a situation where I had never tried it, then maybe she could feel that way.
Mhm.
But I had already had, like she said, I never told her that.
Right.
I didn't tell her that until then, that I had already had this struggle with this in the past. So I mean, I know she feels like she was the reason, but I had a whole history with that addiction before I even met her.
Had I
you know.
known, had he been honest with me and let me know
Yeah.
that this was something he was battling, I loved him enough that I wouldn't have done that around him.
Right.
It would have been me. So I am to blame because it's like we share it 50-50. We're going to take this 50-50.
Right.
We're going to do that. But had he told me that, I love Luther enough that I tried to stop smoking numerous times.
Yeah.
I threw my pipe out the window.
Mhm.
I said, I'm not smoking anymore. I tried that for him because I loved him enough. Love is sacrifice.
Yes.
So I was willing to sacrifice, but it's hard.
Mhm.
It's hard. Crack is impossible without Jesus.
Mhm.
And that's just the truth. I don't care 12 steps, 24 steps, 36 steps. Until you make that one step
Yeah.
and surrender
Yeah.
to Jesus, you're not going to be
Because
clean.
y'all
So,
had, well, you had tried and tried
yeah, tried numerous times. to quit.
numerous times.
Mhm.
And at this time, when you're going through what you're going through, take us a little bit like on what your family is going through while y'all going through this. Just a snippet. Because I know family, like,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah, oh yeah,
family,
oh yeah.
you know, y'all
they-
going through what y'all going through, but you also have family that love y'all to death.
Oh yeah, they heartbroken, they
You know.
disappointed, they all of that stuff, you know, because I mean, how can you watch
Mm-hmm.
your child? How can you watch your child just
Mm.
self-destruct? You know, how can you stand there and watch that?
Mhm.
You know,
Yeah.
So as far as support system, you had family supporting you guys, be there for you guys,
yeah.
try to help you guys to
But see, addiction is a very selfish thing. Addiction is very, very selfish. So you isolate yourself, you push
people.
people that are trying to help you away. The people who are trying to give you or drugs or help you get high, you you welcome them. But
Mhm.
people who are trying to you know, you push away the other people.
The people that are trying
Trying
to
to
tell
tell you stop, don't do that.
hey,
You're
yeah.
you're destroying yourself. You don't want to hear that.
You don't want to hear that at that time.
You push those people away.
You push them away only because you know what you're doing right now is trying to get rid of your pain and
Mhm.
you need that
Mm-hmm.
those drugs to get your pain off.
Yeah.
And they just want to be in the way.
Yeah.
To you guys,
That's
they're
what
being
we
in
saw
the
that.
way.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, but
Yeah.
it was love.
Yeah. It's hard to have a
It's a bunch of
support
love.
system because you push those people away.
Push them away.
You know, you run them away. You don't push them away.
Mhm.
You run them away.
Run them. I
Yeah.
love that. That's a good point of saying that. So, Miss Gail put me in my place earlier. She said, "No, you speak that up, baby. You right." So, with that being said, so at that time, you know, both of you guys are having y'all addiction,
Mm.
and
You know what happens with addiction, right?
right, you go through a lot. And my wife, she heard, you know, a little snippet of what we talked about,
Oh,
and she was like, you know, that stuff expensive. How did they make it
Mm.
living? How
Ooh.
did they go? How?
Ooh,
Because it adds up.
that's a good
Mhm.
question.
How did
That's
you?
really good.
Yeah.
How did you be able to financially survive?
That's a good question. You
You
good.
know,
Yeah.
You come some good
being
questions.
able
Good,
to
yeah.
Wait till
do
you hear
that.
the answer.
Okay, you give your version.
Well, okay. Just gonna give it to you blood raw. Okay. When you have an addiction like that, the men and the women have different ways of making money. Okay. Typically, when you have an addiction, a woman sells her body.
Mm.
Typically, not all the time, most cases, a man is going to steal because a man don't really have nothing to sell
Right,
on his
Mhm.
body.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Usually,
right.
most cases. But we decided we were going to both steal. So
Mhm.
I learned how to steal on the job.
Mhm.
And that's how we supported our habit. We stole everything.
Mm.
Food, clothes,
Mhm.
sold it.
Everything.
Mhm.
Wow.
Yeah, we stole.
We
stole
also used to buy dope, and we used to buy the 50 slabs.
Mhm.
We cut it up. We sell some dope. We smoke some dope. We sell some dope. We smoke some dope.
Miss Gail, can you I'm not trying to become a drug dealer. I promise you. But break it down to the people out there that don't know what 50 slabs is.
Okay, a 50-cent slab. A 50-cent slab costs just what it say, 50 cents. That's $50. And it's about yay big and it's a square. And you get it and you break it down into dimes, right? So I would break them down. We get about 10, 12 out of it. But then we would sell it double price, $20. I was in Lake Worth, so I would sell it $20. And then me and my husband would flip that over while we getting high. And we go back and we get us another 2 slabs. Do the same thing. And this was a routine. Flip it, flip it. But then in the process of it, we started smoking more dope than we were selling.
Mm.
So by the time you go re-up, you ain't got enough for one more. Smoke all that up. Oh, and smoke all that dope up. And now you broke. So now we got to go to Winn-Dixie, Walmart, somewhere. And we stole a lot of ribs and
Albertsons.
steaks. And I used to push whole carts out of
Albertsons.
And you know, I didn't even hear it, Miss Gail. I didn't hear it. I missed it.
They might come back and get us.
You say, don't say that.
Oh
Well, in
gosh.
certain places, my husband and I would push out whole carts.
Wow.
In certain places, my husband would grab a whole rack of clothes and run out the store.
Wow.
So we had a way. We had a way to
Yeah.
survive. We did it. I wasn't too good because I got caught a lot.
Yeah, you're right. You're
I got
right.
caught
It was
a lot.
very expensive.
Very expensive.
And this is what drug
Yeah.
does to you.
Yeah.
That your mind is not your own anymore.
Mm-mm. Ooh,
No,
that belongs
not
to
at
the
all.
Demons.
Yes.
The demons have taken over. Mhm.
Yeah, you will come up with so many ways to make money.
Oh yeah.
Different things you're doing just to get to that drug,
Mhm.
just to get that one little piece to make you feel better, to get rid of your pain. And that's just how it is with addiction.
And that one hit, the high lasts for maybe 2 minutes.
Wow.
The
That's
high-
short.
The
And then-
high only lasts for about 2 minutes.
Then back again.
Gotta
Go
go
get it
again.
again.
And again.
Yep.
And again. And again.
Mhm.
Wow.
And it's on. And it's on. You're chasing.
Yep.
You're chasing. You're chasing. You're chasing.
So I don't know if I'm going too fast, but I wanted to ask, when did you guys decided that you wanna make a turnaround?
Nope.
And-
Yep. You is going too fast.
Okay.
Because
Wait, okay.
this is where I want to go. They were driving. Can-
Oh yeah.
Miss Gail, can I go there, Miss Gail?
Yeah.
And you
Mhm.
guys got pulled over one day.
Yeah. Okay. We had been smoking for quite a while. And so, like I said, once you get into that beast, the beast takes over. We lost. We couldn't afford to pay rent. We couldn't do none of that stuff. So we got evicted. So we left the house after we had got evicted, and they had come and locked the door and all that stuff. We got stuff out that we could, and we were heading to my grandmother's house. Before we got to the parking lot, we were almost about to pull into the parking lot of my grandma's house. And the police stopped us because we had
Man,
tag. that we had handwritten.
Yeah.
Because, of course, we can't afford anything because we got
Not even
this
insurance.
habit.
Wait, Mr. Luther, who handwritten
The
the tag? Who
Me?
did-
Yeah.
Not the handwritten, Mr. Luther.
Yes.
Oh, this
Wait,
gonna work,
so
baby.
what? So you put your own number and everything?
Well, we had a tag that was expired. So we changed the date.
He changed
Oh,
the name.
We changed the date on it.
Right.
Okay, okay,
So,
okay.
but the police, and they saw it, and they saw that. and, you
That's
know.
what triggered them right there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
we
exactly
love
what
us.
it was. That's what they told us.
Yeah.
That's what it was. But that incident, like I said, we met. It was divine appointment.
Mhm.
Everything that happened for purpose.
Yes.
Like the name, like the
today.
the topic today.
Mhm.
Everything that happened was for a purpose. Even that, even getting stopped by the police was for a purpose. Because when they stopped us, you know, of course, they run both of your IDs. Come to find out, she had a warrant
Wow.
in Daytona.
Mhm. Volusia County.
So they expedited her back to Daytona.
Mhm.
Now, for people that's just tuning in, Mr. Luther went to Bethune-Cookman. Okay, that's in Daytona, correct?
Yes.
So we going back to
We're going
Daytona,
back to Daytona.
where you spent a lot of your time.
And I left on purpose.
Yes.
Now I gotta go back.
Then
to
now you
Daytona.
going back.
Yeah. Yeah.
So go ahead. I'm sorry. Mr.
So they sent her to jail there. And I went, and of course, I have a lot of associates and friends and stuff there. So I had a place to stay until she got out. Now, once she got out, we said, okay, maybe this is a sign.
Right.
Maybe we should make Daytona our home.
Mhm.
So we tried to make it there, but the addiction. I mean, what can you do? What can you do?
Drugs are
Honestly,
everywhere.
with
And you
addiction,
found
can't
it
do anything.
in Daytona also.
Oh,
Oh, you remember he didn't tell me he was addicted in
Right.
Daytona.
yeah.
Right.
So he got drug dealers on call.
On
On
call.
deck.
I know it. I know it.
He got drug dealers on deck. They know him by first name.
Wow.
So
He was
But-
home.
He
Yeah.
was home.
yeah,
Yes.
I was back home, and so it went down again, and we had a place that we were living, and then we stole from the people that let us live there.
Mm.
So
Yep.
they put us out.
I mean, and now we're
We
homeless.
slept in parks,
Now we're homeless. We walk, sleeping in parks.
going to soup kitchens.
Yeah, it was bad. It was really bad. Then we convinced family members to send us money for a bus ticket to come back home. And they were so happy that they did it. Knowing what we were doing,
Right.
Mhm.
they were just so happy that we were coming back home that they sent us money and we got on the bus and we came back.
Right. Whatever it was in them, and I'm pretty sure they was like, well, at least we see y'all. We know what's going on.
Mhm.
We don't have to get a phone call waking up that our family members
Mhm.
are no longer here anymore.
Mhm.
I want y'all home. Family again. We're gonna come back to that later, but
Yeah.
the same family, the same ones that loved y'all. That's
Yeah.
okay. So, but I'm
'Cause
sorry.
we both have really great families.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
We have great, and
Yeah.
and I have nieces and nephews. I have first cousins that call me auntie
Mhm.
that were out there, and they never disrespected me. They never disrespected me. They still call me auntie, and they try to help me. Like a lot of them would give me stuff to keep me from having to do stuff to get it.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Mhm.
I had those. I had them. They did. I say to this day, every family goes through.
Yes.
Every family goes through. But I truly have a great family,
Yep.
and so let's see. And we'll
Yeah.
get to that.
Yes.
Yeah. We have.
So in the
Loving,
in the
beautiful
meantime, you guys are in Daytona. Everything is rock bottom right
Yes.
now.
Oh,
Yes.
God.
Y'all lost everything. Y'all don't have any cash.
No
home.
jobs.
No jobs.
Oh.
You're homeless at this point. You living
Yes.
at the park. You living in a car.
No,
We
we
don't
didn't have a
even
car.
have the luxury of having a car
Having a
anymore
car.
because they towed the car that day.
Mm.
That's
we,
gone.
We couldn't
It's
even
out.
afford the
Mhm.
bus. We couldn't even afford the bus ticket.
So
Yeah,
a family
okay.
member sends you the money for the Greyhound
And money to eat while we're on the grade.
on the Greyhound, and now y'all on y'all way back. Take us from there.
You can go.
Yeah, go ahead from there.
Well, when we get back here,
Get back home. Boynton Beach, Florida.
wow.
Yeah, Boynton. we
10th
coming back.
Avenue.
We go
10th Avenue
we go
down.
Yes.
from frying pan into the fight
Yep.
Mhm.
This is
because we
where-
move right back on 10th
Yeah.
where all the drugs are.
Mhm.
Back at it again.
Back in it again.
Mhm.
Head first.
Now, when you come to Boynton, where are you staying at this time?
We're staying. We're staying with
Between Grandma Zilla,
With-
God bless her soul,
Mhm.
and my
And
niece,
her niece.
Keisha, God
Okay.
bless her
Niece.
soul.
Shout out to Miss
Gave
Keisha.
Both of them are gone to glory.
Mm.
My niece is gone to glory, and so is his grandmother Zilla
Yeah.
gone to glory. Two of our strongest
Angels.
supporters.
Mhm, yeah,
and angels.
definitely strongest supporters.
Mhm.
So her niece gives us the spare room,
Yeah. In
And-
her apartment.
and we're right
In the
In
neck
the
of
middle.
the middle of 10th Avenue,
Right
where
in the-
everything
right in
Oh,
the
this
middle of
good
the
old
drugs.
dope.
is right.
right there. The jokes are right there.
right there, just
Yeah.
right there.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
So, yeah, we went through it again, and she could tell
From
the moment that changed everything.
This is where the relationship really got abusive between Luther and I,
Mhm.
because remember now, I was the one being abused.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So now I've turned into the abuser. I'm the one abusing him, because now I told him later, as I thought back on it, every time I seen him put that pipe to his mouth,
You got upset.
it it infuriated me,
Yes.
because I saw me being the blame for it,
Mhm.
causing this man to lose everything. And it just made me so mad. So every time I seen him with that pipe in his mouth, he thought that I wanted to smoke all the dope.
Mhm.
Yeah. Because I always kept all the dope.
Right.
And I would spence it out, because my husband would pull a whole dime on the pipe and smoke it. I would break it up like 6 times. And smoke
Mhm.
it. But he every time I seen him do that, it just demons would just come in. It was like an out of body experience.
Mhm.
I would try to kill him. I said, "Look, you're smoking too much. Stop it."
Mhm.
I've hit him with 2x4s. I stabbed my husband.
Mm.
I did everything. His uncles and brothers and other people in his family were saying, "You better leave this woman. This woman gonna kill you.
Mm.
What's wrong with you? Leave her. You got to leave. You got to just leave this woman alone." So finally, and even my Auntie Lynn, shout out to Auntie Lynn, because
Hey, Auntie Lynn.
Auntie Lynn, Auntie Lynn gave me, when we got married, let me just say that real quick. When we got married, we didn't even have a ring. My auntie gave me a 14-karat gold ring,
Mm.
gave him to put on my finger. But that's my Auntie Lynn, and she always loved Luther. And she said to me, she said, "If I wasn't saved, I'd jump on you. I'd beat you down, because I hate to see the way you do this man."
Mm.
This is what my Auntie Lynn, she even testified in church about this,
Right.
that I wanted to beat my own niece about hurting my nephew-in-law.
Mm.
I was so violent toward him. But not only seeing him smoke the dope, but all the stuff I had been through. See, bitter people, hurt people,
Hurt
will
people.
hurt people.
Right. He was hurting, so you wanted to hurt
You
too.
hurt people.
Mm.
And it's always the people you love.
And you can contest that. You were saying that, you have been abused by men so long.
Forever. Every relationship I had except Luther's.
Every relationship.
Every relationship.
And it made
And I
you.
had about 6 of them.
And it made you.
It made me bitter and angry. I was full of stuff. I was full of stuff. Full of stuff. And I think I would have killed my husband. So one day Luther told me, he said, "I had enough. I ain't gonna deal with this no more. I'm out of here. I'm done." So I was like, "Okay, fine, go." You know how we do it.
Mm-hmm.
Written.
You say
Bye.
we. Hold on. Let them know when you say we.
We us sisters. We'll tell y'all quick. Kick rocks.
Get up out of here.
Yeah,
Kick
we
rocks. We
women.
don't care.
Yeah.
Don't
You
threaten
know?
us.
Don't threaten us to get up out of here.
Go on ahead.
Yeah.
You coming right back.
We be all until we'll see you.
Uh-huh.
But that moment you there by yourself,
Then you
you done
realize.
showed out in front of everybody. "Oh, go ahead, Nick Bro. I don't need you. Go ahead." Like I said, Kid Ross, you need me. I don't need you.
Right.
I'm the one. I'm the thug in this relationship. I'm the one that make it happen. Because he'll tell you, I made it happen out there. Because I had so many years experience.
Mhm.
But so he had left me. Luther had left me. And it was raining. And I'll never forget, because my sister-in-law Tasha was going off. She was going in her direction. And my niece was moving, Keisha. So it was like everybody was going. Our biggest supporters were leaving.
Leaving.
And I was sitting out by my niece's door, and they were making a trip to her apartment. And it was raining. And it was like my life had flashed before me. I had become a grandmother. I was 40-some years old. Nothing to show for it. I didn't even have a house to babysit my own grandbaby.
Mm.
My husband was leaving me. The one man that treated me like a queen, I had finally ran him off. I was a disappointment. My son, I apologized to Fawn so many times, because we don't realize that in addiction we hurt people so bad.
Yeah.
Your kid is known to have a crackhead for a mama. Your mother watching her child sit there and kill herself. Your sister, woman of God, can't even reach out and help you because you don't want to be bothered. Don't nobody, and it gets to a point nobody wants to be around you
Mhm.
because we lie so much, we steal
from the
And
people.
we do everything. And all this stuff was going through my head as the rain was coming down. I
Mhm.
dropped on my knees. And at the time, I didn't even know that I was calling out to God because I wasn't raised in the church. I was what you call the CEO, Christmas, Easter only.
Mm,
That's when I went to church. I was a CEO.
I have
Christmas,
never heard of
Easter
that.
only.
But man, no man, did that
Christmas-
just sting me.
Christmas, Easter only.
Woo.
That's a good one.
That's when I went to church. So I love Luther and I still do. I am so in love with my husband, even after all these years. I thank God for him every day. So I'm thinking about all that stuff as the rain is pouring and my niece back in. She's like, Auntie, what are you doing out here in this rain? What's wrong with you? And I looked up to her and I said, I'm tired. See, when you get tired, only when you hit rock bottom and you lost everything and everybody that meant anything to you.
Mhm.
That's the only time. So I was ready. And she said, "Oh, let me call grandmama. Let me call Fonz. Let me call my mama, which is my sister Net.
Mhm.
Let me call them because she was so excited." And I said, "Wait. I got to go. I got to go get my husband."
Yeah. Everybody was rallying around y'all. Everybody was like, y'all, let's get out, let's get
'em outta
let's
here.
get them out of here. Let's get it
Mhm.
right. Let's get it,
Mhm.
let's move forward from here on out. Whatever happened in the past, whatever. We got you now. We want our family member. We want to see
Yes.
you alive. We
Yes.
love
See
you.
that.
Yes.
We
yes.
love you, and we ready for you to move forward with your life.
Yes.
So
yes,
let's move forward. I
yes.
love that. I love that. So in between, so everybody rallying up.
Luther said yes. I just asked him. I said, hey, I'm going to rehab today.
Let's do it.
You want to go? He said, yeah. And I think he had a beer in his hand. Didn't you?
Mhm.
Had a beer in his hand. He said, yeah. You know?
Yeah.
Then go from there.
And that day,
Mhm.
from that day forward, it changed your life forever.
Yeah, that was the day. That was the fork in the road.
June
As they call
1st,
it.
2009.
June 1st, 2009.
Mhm.
That day is the day y'all was reborn.
Reborn.
I love what you said. You told me that's y'all birthday.
That's my
Mhm.
birthday. That's our birthday. We share a birthday.
Yep.
And
We
y'all
share a birthday.
twins.
We're twins.
Y'all twins.
Joined at the hips. We're
Joined.
Siamese twins.
Yes. June 1st, 2009.
Nine. Yes. Yes.
So is that when you guys signed into rehab?
Mhm.
And when you guys was in rehab, did you guys do anything to get out?
Wait, let's let them tell a story about when they they got a story when they got there.
Oh,
Because it was a day when they got there.
Well, we were married,
Mhm.
and married couples can't be
Together.
together.
No,
No,
Right.
Yeah.
no. So we had to pretend that we
Single.
You know.
Not married.
got married.
Because they wouldn't take us.
They wouldn't take us. They wouldn't
That's
take
something
you.
I did not know.
Yeah, they won't take married couples. It's stupid, but they don't. The first rehab turned us down.
Yeah. So yeah.
Wait,
Y'all
wait.
learn- y'all
It's-
I
learn from
forgot
them.
to tell you guys.
Wait.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
a rehab that
I
turns
forgot
people
about that.
down.
Yeah, it
I
turned
guess-
us down. It turned us
We're
down
married.
because we were married.
Wow.
They,
That is.
yeah,
That's scary.
yeah.
Mhm.
What place was that? It was in
That was in
Palm
West
Beach.
Palm. Yeah.
And my sister took us there. My sister's the one. Thank you. Shout out to Valora Burks, aka Net. I love you.
What's up, Ned?
What's up?
Net took Luther and I. to the-
Yeah, and because we were married, we couldn't go, so we went down to Delray to DAF, and we were only there 3 days.
But we had to tell them
Because-
that we weren't married.
Yeah,
were
we
just
had
boyfriend,
to
girlfriend.
pretend that we didn't know
Just-
each other.
Yeah.
You know,
Oh, we did,
so
didn't we?
yeah, we had to pretend that we didn't know each
Yes,
other.
Yes.
So, the program is actually like 30 days, and then after
30
the
to
30
90.
days, then they move you into a residential area
Mhm.
because you have the 30 days of detox.
Mhm.
So, but they didn't have any available
For you.
for me. Any
They had a
beds.
90-day program.
They
for
had
me.
one for her.
Wow.
Mhm.
So we made the decision that we were going to
We-
leave.
We got to do this together.
Mhm.
3 days we left.
That was
3
it.
days of detox. That's it. So we still look like crackheads.
Did that have any like effects on like because you said you guys did it every day, right?
free
day.
day.
With those 3 days,
Oh,
go into the first day.
the first day they actually had to take me to Delray Medical Center.
Mhm.
My blood pressure was like over the roof. Can you remember what it was? It was like
Like
100,
200. It was like
100 and
it's like-
some over 200
Mm.
in stroke level.
Mhm.
Now, what with that level, sweetie? I'm not really in tune with blood pressures.
Yeah,
All I hear
she
is numbers.
She said it's stroke level.
Oh, stroke level.
Yes.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
She said it.
So my legs were swelling. They were yeah, you're a nurse?
Yes.
So water, right?
Yep. Mhm.
So my body was absorbing water,
retaining
retaining water. So I was swelling up. And I got to the hospital and they managed to get my blood pressure down. And I think I came back the same night,
Uh-huh.
late that
Uh-huh.
night.
Mhm.
They had gotten the blood pressure down, but that was one of the reasons they had chosen to keep me too to the 90-day program because they felt like they statistically they know that after 3 days you send us back out there.
You're just gonna fall back into
Mhm.
it.
There you go. So they was keeping the room for me, but a lot of times I was walking around here with headaches. Blood pressure probably was
Hi.
at the same time
Mhm.
because that night.
Now, what I find amazing is, Miss Gail,
Yeah.
that day
Mhm.
that y'all signed into rehab,
Oh,
y'all took that day, that same day, you went to the hospital. Y'all can't tell me that's not God because your body
Mhm.
had enough.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes.
And that same day you went into the hospital,
Mhm.
stroke level blood pressure.
Mhm. Yeah.
So June 1st is so important.
So
That day, it
profound.
wasn't, I'm talking about if there was a day after,
I think I'd be dead.
who would know?
Mhm.
I would have probably died.
That's
I probably would have died on June 1st because I wouldn't have been to no rehab for them because they take your vitals
right.
when you get there. And Luther and I tried to leave the rehab. We tried to leave because it took so long
Mhm.
for them to get us. By this time, all that energy to get clean was leaving out the door. Like,
Right.
damn,
Yeah.
Because y'all aggravated at this
we
point.
aggravated. We ready to go. I'm ready. I'm on
You ready to get another hit sitting there waiting.
Yeah. It
I'm-
took
we're
so many
aching now.
hours.
Yeah, we're craving the drugs now.
Mhm. Mhm.
Wow.
We're craving the drugs. It ain't bad as heroin. But
Yeah.
you got to have it.
Yeah, it's
Right.
bad though.
Right.
Yeah.
But his brother-in-law at the time, what he told us, baby.
When we
Man,
had
so we
called
called
him,
him to come
yeah,
get us.
come get us. He's like, nah, I'm not.
Man, y'all stay y'all butt in there.
Nah,
Right
I'm not
there.
coming to get you.
Now that the person, it was somebody else that you called too.
No, that was Vince,
That was him, right?
Yeah,
And he was
Vince.
also
an addict.
an addict.
That was an
Oh.
addict.
That was
telling
the
us he
addict
wasn't coming
telling
to get us.
y'all,
He
nope,
wasn't-
y'all need to get clean. Y'all need to get straight.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
Wow.
He told us that, and he wouldn't come. Nothing but God.
Nothing.
Nothing but God.
That
All through this.
that's
Yeah.
when I tell y'all story
That's
is amazing.
amazing.
It's nothing short of
The grace of
amazing.
God.
The
It's
timing
grace
of everything
God.
and how y'all,
Come through.
came through.
Both
Yeah.
people. That's unheard of. Unheard
Yeah.
of.
That
Both.
both of us.
Both of us.
But
You don't see that.
if we
Mm-mm.
wouldn't have found God, and I know my sister, I'm gonna let her get there. That's what did it. That's what did it.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
wasn't nothing we did. Wasn't nothing no rehab did. Wasn't
Nope.
None of that, and
Yeah.
it definitely ain't got nothing to do with us. All God wanted us to do was to be willing participants. Just to be willing.
Yeah, that was my next question. So,
Mhm.
when did you find God in all of this?
It was shortly after that because when we left the rehab,
Hmm.
we didn't have a game plan. We didn't know what we were gonna do. But something just said, go to church. And that's what we did.
Mhm.
And like I was explaining to you all previously, that if you go there regular enough,
To the barbers.
you're gonna end up getting
Yep.
something. You're gonna get something out of it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Just you go to the barber shop enough, you're gonna get a haircut.
Okay.
Go to church enough,
You gonna get saved.
it's gonna hit you.
Yep.
It's gonna hit you. You're gonna have no choice but to, So
And
that's what we did.
And we went, it was shortly, like he said, because when we started going to church, we still looked like addicts. We still look like crackheads coming up in the church.
Mhm.
So you know how that is. People, see, let me tell you something about grace. None of us deserve grace,
Mhm.
but God gives it to us.
Yes.
So you got people sitting up in the church that feel like they the only somebody that deserve grace,
Mm.
but you don't deserve it either.
Mhm.
But they looking at us like we don't. Where do crackheads come from?
Right.
And you got people looking at us like we stink. We want to stink because we had stole us some clothes and we had took good showers. But you got people doing that, and it almost like it terrified me
Mhm.
because I was already feeling unworthy to even be in the house of God. You know, I'm a babes. I ain't never come up in church,
Mhm.
but that's the place for sick people.
Mm.
That's the place you go to get help.
It's a
To get
hospital.
healed.
It's a hospital.
Church is the hospital.
Right.
And I was in the right spot.
Right. And here you go. You in the church.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You know, trying to get your soul right,
Mhm.
trying to get right physically, mentally,
Mhm.
and you just feel unworthy being in the presence of
People that I thought were worthy.
right.
Mhm.
That's a testimony.
And I think that was my next question. You found God, like God saying, okay, I need to change my life around.
Yes.
Then I'm like, okay, the next question is, how do you know that was God? How do you know you found him? You say you found him, but how do you know it's him?
I know it's him because, like my husband said, we were going to church and the word started penetrating my heart. And I started falling in love with God.
Mm.
And the more I fell in love with God, the more the old Gail started falling off.
Mhm.
So I stopped cursing.
Mhm.
That took a while too.
Wow.
That took a while. I stopped cursing so much. I would catch myself and stop cursing. I stopped stealing. I would
Mhm.
go in the store. I'd tell my husband, I'm gonna leave my purse in the car.
Mhm.
I don't even want no temptation.
Mhm.
So I knew it was God because everything after falling in love with him led me down the road of righteousness.
Yes.
I started treating people right.
Mhm.
I started talking to people right. I started treating him more because the thing about it, the more you fall in love with God,
Mhm.
the more it allows you to fall in love with your spouse.
Mhm.
We say we love them, but we fall more in love. Like I tell my husband all the time, I said, I can't believe every day I wake up, I'm more in love with you than I was yesterday.
Ooh.
The deeper I fall in love with Jesus, the deeper I fall in love with my husband.
Wow.
And how I know I found God is because now I know how to be a wife.
Yes.
I know how to be a mother
Mhm.
and a grandmother. And most of all, I know how to be a friend.
Yes.
Love that.
So that's how.
I
Yeah.
love that.
Yep.
Woo.
And then I think
Hold on,
also-
wait. Can we make some noise for that real quick? That was powerful. That I felt that right there. I'm sorry, y'all can't. I got my headphones in. I
but
got
I
some.
hear
You heard the audience?
No,
Okay, that was amazing. I love
Yeah.
that. I'm sorry, I can't just let that just go without not being, applaud.
Yes.
Okay,
Thank
And
you.
I
So-
would also think, you would know when it's God, when you try, you handling, you enduring everything that happened to you in the house of God, where you're supposed to feel accepted,
Yes.
right? Walking in, and then you got treated a different way, and then you didn't get up and leave.
No, we didn't leave because there was more love than just
Than
them
hate,
one or two
yeah.
people sitting there.
Huh?
Because
Yeah.
shout out to BCOG Boynton.
Come on now.
And the whole how many churches? 23,
26.
something like that.
Shout
All
out.
the Bible churches of God because it was one or two devils sitting in church looking at me all, and they weren't looking at him because they knew him from when he was a baby.
Uh-huh.
They were glad to see him home. It was one or two looking like that. But the love and the compassion that we
Mhm.
received walking in those doors. I had people I had never met before. Sister Gloria, Sister Teresa, Mother Banks, Melinda Ice. I can go on and on. I don't want to make anybody get in their feelings by not putting them, and especially my Auntie Lynn.
Mhm.
It was a church that both of our mothers had went to. And my mom at the time was still going to. So it was a lot of love. People started giving us clothes. People started bringing me perfumes, colognes.
Mhm.
People would ball up money and put in our hand as we were leaving church.
Wow.
Now, I want to back it up a little bit too.
Okay.
You had family members this whole time waiting for y'all
Mhm.
to get right, and y'all just had an unexpected, like we got this for you, and we got this for y'all. Tell them a little bit about that, Miss Luther.
Well, once we got ourselves together and we started headed in the right direction, we I had got my job back here in Boynton. I got my job. Then we left my grandmother's house because
I
we
told
had
him
to get
he
away
had to
from
get
there.
me away from there.
Because
Mhm.
that was the
Yes,
Yeah.
belly
the
of the
area.
beast there. I mean,
Yes.
we had to get away from that. So we went and we moved
No, you're
to an
good.
efficiency.
Mhm.
And we didn't stay in efficiency very long, maybe 3 months. Then my aunt came to me and said, "Hey,
Lulu.
where you guys?" Yeah, my auntie
Shout
Lulu.
out to
Shout out to
Lulu.
her.
Yeah.
She said, "Well, where you guys staying?" I told her we stay in efficiency. I told her how much. She said, "No. I got this house over here. Nobody even in it.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Y'all can just move in. You don't have to pay me
3
no
bedrooms.
first, no last, none of that. Just move in and pay me so much a month, whatever
Yep.
it was. I forget what it was.
600.
We
or
moved
something.
right in.
They had it ready for
No-
y'all.
Yeah.
No, nothing.
Wow.
Just moved in.
That's God.
Then Uncle
Nothing
Pilsa
but
was talking about
God.
what
Nothing
Uncle
but
Pilsa
God.
did.
And then when we moved in, my other uncle,
Uncle Troy.
Troy's
Shout out to
barbecue.
Uncle Troy.
Barbecue.
He said, "You know what? There's this girl I know, and she's moving out of her house, her apartment, and she's not taking any of her furniture.
Beautiful furniture.
So why don't y'all come and get the furniture and put it in the house?" So we got the house, we got the furniture
pots, pans, spoons,
for
Everything.
free.
Wow.
Wow.
everything for free.
Everything.
Now these are the same family members y'all always had,
Yeah.
Always had them.
but
Yeah,
because y'all was going through what y'all was going through, there was a shadow over y'all head. Y'all couldn't see the family members and how they loved y'all, and if y'all ever needed anything, they can lend a hand to help. So these same family members was like, okay, y'all good. Hey, here we go.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
got something for y'all. Don't
With the
worry about
blessings.
nothing.
Mhm.
We're gonna
Mhm.
take care of y'all. They loved y'all that much. They wanted to
That
see
much.
y'all, prevail.
And
Yes,
you know,
yes.
I'm gonna tell you something too about
Yes.
that. Now that you mentioned that, I
Mhm.
just thought about this. That's love. Not just because they're family now. Remind you what we told you about addiction, what you do to family.
Mm.
You pushed him.
You burn them, you steal from them, you lie to them. These are the same people that we did this to.
Right.
They still have enough love for you that they disregard all that and still help
Disregard
you.
it.
Love.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a difference between
That's
family and relatives. That's how I look at some things. Some people you born to be,
You just related to them.
you just related to
Just
them.
related.
But
That's it.
family is the
Mhm.
people that actually put their foot forward and showing you, I love you.
Mhm.
I'm gonna show you how much I love you.
Mhm.
Mhm.
This is what I'm gonna do. This is my love for you.
Yep.
I want to see you prevail. I
Yeah.
love that.
And
Shout out to Uncle Troy.
Yeah.
Uncle Troy's barbecue.
And-
Yeah,
and
we both have families, not
Families.
relatives.
Yes.
Right.
We
Yes.
have families.
I love
we
that.
have nuclear family, we have extended.
an extended family.
I
and
love
like
that.
you guys are now our
Yes.
100%. Let's
I
make some
know
noise for that. Family forever.
Tanya said something.
I love that. I know you guys been talking. Y'all haven't seen any of the comments. I want to just show you guys some of the comments. They are showing y'all some love. Okay, they are just showing. We have Tanya Benfield.
Oh, I know her. Hi, Tanya.
Hey man, that makes people stop going to church because of the actions of some of the people at church. Thank God for His grace and mercy, not people.
Amen.
Amen. You are
Amen,
absolutely
Tanya.
right. People turn around because the people that's in the church that look at them and just say, "No, you're not walking well." God says.
Dada?
Yeah. What
God,
did you?
I was saying, God says, I ain't.
Oh.
Rose told me not to say nothing about the Bible if I don't know the whole scripture. So go ahead and say it. Come as you are.
Yes. Come as you are.
It don't matter
Come
what
as
you
you are.
is, who you is, what
Yeah.
you dress like. Come as you are.
and
Amen.
you're supposed to catch the fish before you clean them.
Ooh,
now,
come on
okay,
now.
okay.
Catch the fish before you clean them.
Yes, sir.
Amen.
I love that.
Not the other way around.
I
Yeah.
love
Yeah.
that.
But Mrs. Smith, this is my new sister, y'all.
Yeah.
Mhm.
She said something profound too at the restaurant last night when I was telling you the story about the person in church. And you
Mhm.
told me that
They're the devil.
Mm-hmm.
They are straight the devil.
they
You'll
come
be
sit
surprised
behind you
how many devils are sitting right in
in
church, right
Ooh.
next
That's
to
right.
you.
That's
Yep.
right. And it reminds me of this story that my husband had told one time in church when he was preaching. Let me see if I can remember it.
Okay.
There was this one lady that went and told the pastor, she said, I'm leaving this church. I don't like the people talk about you, the people do this and how they look at you. I'm gonna leave the church.
Mhm.
So the pastor said, okay, that's fine. But do me this one favor before you leave. And she said, what's that, pastor? He said, take a glass, fill it up, and walk around the church holding that glass.
Mm.
And when she did, he got back. He said, did you spill any of the water? She said, no. Did you notice any of the people looking at you? No. Did you hear anybody gossiping? No. You know why? Because when we go to church, we ain't supposed to focus on people. We're supposed to focus on the word of God.
Woo.
And if we focus on the word of God and we go there to get teaching, then we don't see those people.
Nope.
There's
Right.
probably people still rolling their eyes and doing stuff, but you know what? I don't see them.
Right.
Yep.
I'm too focused on the man that saved my life.
Yes.
Right. Now check
I'm
this
too
out.
focused.
Oh, that is
Check this
good.
out,
Give
Miss
it- give it. Miss Gail.
Miss Gail. I'm sorry. It's the wine
Gail,
kicking
just
in.
say Gail.
It's the wine kicking in.
Kick it in.
Now
That was
you
a good
had
one.
that one person on your back,
Mhm.
at church,
Right. Mhm.
and you had a million angels in the church that
Yeah,
showed
yeah.
love to you, but you were so focused on that
Mm.
one little devil on your back, not realizing
Mhm.
because you was getting ready to give up. Like, she
Yeah.
was killing your energy. She was killing your vibe.
I was getting ready to leave the
You was getting
church.
ready to leave the church
Mhm.
because of that one devil. But then you realize, like, look at all this love in here.
All this. Why do we just focus on the one person that hates us?
Mm.
Why do we do that? We got all this love around us, and one person doesn't like us. We always concentrating on that one person, and we miss all the love that's around us. You got all these people that love you. So what if they hate you? Look how they did Jesus.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
He's a prime example. I'm an unworthy, dirty person. I probably did some dirt. I've done so many people dirty and wrong in my addiction. So I'm far from perfect. I'm far from perfect. And even now, being saved, I would never be perfect. I still have faults. I still fall short. But God still gives me grace. He still gives me mercy. Because who hasn't fallen short?
Okay.
Who hasn't?
You
See,
can't name not one person.
I'm not gonna be that one person that think I'm better than you. I'm not better than you. I just listen to God better.
Yep.
And he answered my prayers. Doesn't make me better than you.
Amen.
Doesn't make me better than anybody. I'm still not better than my sister that's stuck out there in drugs.
Mm.
Mhm.
I'm still not better than her. I just chose to listen to God better than she does.
Wow. I
You know,
love that.
Every time I see one of them, I pray for them. I'm not gonna be one of the Pharisees that say, "Thank God I ain't like that sister no more."
Mm.
No,
Mm-mm.
God, you did it for me. Do it for her.
Woo, that's a
Exactly.
testimony.
Do
That's
it
a
for her.
testimony. I
And-
love that.
And that's he tell him. He tells me all the time. This is our work, baby.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. Purpose.
Love that.
The purpose.
And,
That's the purpose.
Yep.
That's the purpose.
That's the purpose.
I gotta do it again. I love that. Listen, family, we are tuned in to Love and Unity, guys. Thank you guys so much for tuning in tonight. Right now, we're not leaving. We ain't going nowhere. Y'all got time, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, time.
I want the people to give us a call in. You see that number right there on the screen?
I love you too, Ebony.
Give us a call in. We just want to get some insight, guys. Give us some insight. And tell us what you think about tonight. We have Mr. Baldhead. He says, I'm watching. It's amazing how far you guys came along with Miss Gail, and your husband is inspiration. I salute, even though I'm not living right. I always stop and hear the word, especially from my mother and my grandmother. That's come from Baldhead.
Praise God, Ballhead. Thank you. That's one of my employees. That's her son's father.
I love
Thank
that.
you, Ballhead. Just keep listening to the word, baby.
I love that.
Keep listening to it.
Man, you guys have such a great testimony. I just want to say I appreciate you guys tuning in and coming to Love and Unity. You guys are definitely family forever now.
Forever.
Yeah.
When we didn't talk about this, but how I discovered you guys was that I seen a picture that went viral.
Do we have this picture? Can we pull
I
it up?
have it, but for some reason it won't let me do it
The
tonight.
before and after picture.
The before and after picture. And what happened was I was like, okay, I think I was when I read it, I didn't think that you guys were from my area.
Mhm.
But then I clicked on the profile and it had Boynton Beach, Florida. I'm like, these my folks. These my people. And this is a real testimony
Yeah.
on what y'all been through. And I love the fact that you celebrate every year, June 1st.
Yes, it's a must.
Now, do y'all have big parties? Because we want to be invited to those parties if y'all haven't. Or is that like a personal thing you guys do
Yes.
with each other?
One.
Well,
Basically,
yeah.
each other.
Yeah.
With each other. I love
Yeah.
that. That's fine too.
Yeah, we do it with each other because I know you're getting ready to end the show, right?
Mm.
But I want my husband to tell just how significant June 1st is. Tell
Yes.
me what else God did June 1st of another year, baby.
Well, like we said before, on June 1st, 2009, that's our rebirth day,
That's
our
our
born
birthday.
again day. So years passed, we got active in church. I had been doing a little speaking here, a little speaking there, a little speaking here, and our bishop had an ordination at our church, and he wanted some young blood, some young preachers.
Mhm.
So June 1st, 2014, I was ordained as a youth minister.
5 years to the day.
Wow. The same
5
day.
years,
5 years to the day.
Wow.
same day.
Yeah.
That is great.
Yeah.
And you asked her the question, how do you know it's God? That's one reason that's one way I can tell
You
that it
can
was
tell
God.
that it was
Because
God.
it's that same day. And that was just confirmation by God
Mhm.
that this is what you're supposed to do.
There you go.
That's amazing.
The purpose.
That's amazing.
But let me say this before Rod ask whatever next question. We met with these beautiful people a couple times, and it was
Mhm.
our first time. And you know how you meet them certain people. They are wonderful. They are
Yeah.
caring. They're
Yeah.
easy to love. They're so cool.
Thank
And
you.
we love them. And we explained to them how much we look up to them. They're a young couple, been married 10 years. We in this beautiful home that looks like a studio and everything else. And I
Thank
told them
Thank you.
that my husband and I are much older than you guys, but
Mhm.
we look up to y'all.
Mhm.
See, we in a race, we trying to catch up.
Yeah, we playing catch up.
We playing catch
Yeah,
up.
we playing catch up.
We look at you guys, you have 5 beautiful children. You have a beautiful, you guys got to see this home is so big and beautiful. It is so beautiful. I love
Thank
it.
you.
And
Thank
it's
you.
warm and it's welcoming. And
Thank
they
you.
got a home. They have 2 careers. Plus, God is gonna really bless this
Yeah.
this program they're doing because they're helping.
Thank you.
But they have a testimony.
Mm.
God kept you from that.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Thank you.
We
Miss
look
Hill.
up to you guys so much. And people say, oh, I hate when people tell me they love me and just met me.
Mm.
Well, you know when you love somebody.
Oh yeah.
And we love Luther and I love you guys.
Thank
Love
you.
you
Thank
too.
you. We love
Yes.
you guys too.
Thank you.
Yes.
And we
just
are.
Let her
pray.
finish. Let her
Yeah.
finish.
We just keep we hope God just
We have a call.
Oh.
Somebody's calling in.
Somebody
keeps on
calling
blessing
in.
this beautiful couple.
I'm sorry.
And my sister got something to say after
I'm
this call.
sorry. I'm sorry. Hey, how you doing? Who do we have calling? Hello.
Hello,
Hey, how you doing? What's up, Trent?
what's going on, man?
Talk to us. How you doing, man? Thank you for tuning in to
Hey.
Love and Unity, brother. Talk to us.
Oh yes, you know it. Hey, I appreciate y'all for coming through.
Yes.
Miss Jill, Minister Luther.
What's up? What's
Hey,
up? Trey?
hi.
Hey, I love that story, man. I love that story, guys.
Thank
It's
you.
very inspirational, man. We sitting here watching, and it just did our hearts wonders tonight
Oh,
hearing
praise
that
God.
story. I know y'all for a long time. Y'all know what y'all did for me
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
5, 10 years ago. So I just really I appreciate that story. That was big. You know, I never
You're
knew that at all. You know, and you don't try to be all in being business, but
Right.
you know, I never knew that part of it. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just very touching, man. We are very. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of y'all.
Yes.
Well, y'all know how I feel about y'all.
Thank
Y'all
you. We
already know.
love you,
Yeah.
Trent.
Yes, sir.
Oh yeah.
Proud of
We'll
you too.
appreciate.
Yeah, we're very proud of you too.
Oh yeah.
Thank you, Trent.
All
We
right, love y'all.
appreciate you, man.
All right.
Love you too,
Yes,
bro.
Love you.
Yes.
All right.
Now, what you were saying? Sue?
No, I was telling you that, you know, you guys been married, you guys went through so much pain, you've been through so much, and you guys made it through as a couple through God
Of course.
and love
Mm-hmm.
and family support, even though you guys didn't accept it in the beginning. That's
Yeah.
understandable. But for you guys to make it out together as a married couple, stay loving each other and be with each other, I love that. I appreciate that. And I feel like me and my husband, we can also learn from that. You guys been through so much. Whatever my husband and I, whatever is in store for us in the future, we feel like we can make it through
Look at
together.
this story.
Yes.
And say, oh, they did it.
We
Yeah.
can do it.
Absolutely.
we are learning from each other.
Beautifully
Yes.
said.
Yes.
Beautifully said.
And
Yes.
I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna say it again. Well, I already said it. We're gonna make sure we doing date night every month now.
I know that's
We
right.
we just gonna have conversation because
double
when
date night.
we had a great night, a great day, great night the other day at dinner, and that
Yeah.
was amazing. So
Yeah.
we appreciate you guys for
We appreciate
you know.
y'all.
Oh, it's on us next time without no argument, no fighting. Yes. So
Right.
Yes.
family,
Family forever.
listen,
Yes.
follow us.
TikTok too.
Oh
Gal
yes,
is a
go tell them
TikTok queen.
about
Oh,
tell
they
them.
know about my
She
TikTok.
got-
They
oh,
always they
Tell them to follow your TikTok, Miss Gail. Tell them your TikTok name.
at Preacher's Wife with 3 E's.
3 E's. I love that. I love that.
They sick of my TikToks, but y'all make sure y'all join in and support this podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Support this.
Yes,
This is
please
really
support
good.
it.
Love and Unity.
Yes.
That's
Love and Unity.
Love and Unity on Instagram. We on YouTube. We on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Instagram. Just
Oh.
follow us. Love and Unity. Thank you guys so much for
Thank you.
listening to this wonderful couple's testimony. That was extremely humbling, extremely powerful. God has been good to y'all.
Amen.
You know
Yes.
where y'all come from,
Mhm.
what y'all been through.
Mhm.
And I said that, and I'm gonna say it again. Y'all absolutely look nothing like y'all been through. Y'all look damn good.
Yes.
Okay.
That's the grace of God.
Okay,
Yeah.
Miss
Nothing
Gail
but the
over
grace of
here,
God.
y'all probably can't see it on this camera, but she rocking this purple
Oh,
on the
yeah.
top. She looking good. Mr.
My
Luther,
natural, huh?
thank you guys so
Yes.
much for tuning in to Love and Unity. And you guys have a blessed night. All right.
Bye, guys.